Rohan was always fascinated by the stars, wondering what secrets they held. His room was cluttered with telescopes, star charts, and glowing models of solar systems. One day, while working on a black hole simulation for his astrophysics class, something astonishing happened. A swirling portal appeared on his computer screen. Without thinking twice, Rohan leaned closer, and before he knew it, he was pulled through. When he opened his eyes, strange yet familiar landscapes surrounded him. Somehow, Rohan had stumbled into Narnia, but it wasn't the Narnia he knew from the books. The land was still, devoid of its usual wonder and magic. The sky was a smoky orange, the stars growing fainter every moment, rivers were no longer flowing, and the air was warm with the uncomfortable touch of an ending world. Curious, he wandered further and met an elderly Aslan, his mane grayer than gold and eyes wise but weary. Aslan explained that Rohan had arrived during Narnia's heat death. The stars were dimming, time itself was running out, and soon, all would fade. Rohan felt a pang of sorrow. Could there be nothing to save? He asked Aslan if there was any way to revive the magic of Narnia. Aslan's eyes twinkled softly as he revealed that hope lay in the hearts who still believed in Narnia, even as its story neared its end. Rohan looked around the desolate land and realized the untold stories mattered too. Maybe not everything was meant to last forever, but what mattered was how they are remembered. The skies might close, but the tales of Narnia would live on, recorded in the stars, like stories told around a campfire, shared even when the flames vanished. Touched by the experience, Rohan promised to carry Narnia's story to the world, ensuring its light would never fully flicker out. With Aslan's blessing, Rohan returned to his world, the portal closing with a soft sigh. Back at his desk, Rohan felt a new story blossoming within him, waiting to be told as he glanced at the endless expanse of the cosmos. A tale of stars, endings, and their eternal dance with beginnings. Once upon a time in the enchanted land of Narnia, there lived a curious young boy named Rohan. Rohan was known for his adventurous spirit and love for exploring the magical realms beyond his village. One sunny morning, as Rohan was wandering through the mysterious forest, he stumbled upon two extraordinary companions who would change his life forever. The first was Lyra, a fox unlike any he'd ever seen before. With her sleek auburn fur and clockwork legs that sparkled with intricate gears and springs, Lyra zipped around with a grace that defied her mechanical limbs. Despite her disability, Lyra had a fierce determination and boundless courage that shone brighter than any star in the Narnian sky. "Welcome, Rohan," she greeted with a friendly smile. "I've heard of your bravery, and I believe we have a journey together." Soon after their meeting, they encountered Nyx, a dazzling being shimmering with the essence of the cosmos. Nyx was a non-binary star being who could manipulate quantum strings, bending reality with a flick of their iridescent fingers. "The sun is losing its light," Nyx explained with urgency in their voice. "If it extinguishes, all life in Narnia would be lost. We must reignite its fire." With shared determination, the trio set off on their most thrilling adventure yet. Through valleys of vibrant flowers, over mountains shrouded in silvery mist, and across rivers that whispered secrets of ages past, they raced against time. Along the way, Lyra used her clockwork legs to outrun dangers, while Nyx twisted quantum strings into ladders and bridges to help them cross impossible obstacles. Together, they forged an unbreakable bond, united by their mission to save Narnia. As they neared their destination, where the shimmering orb of the sun awaited, suspense filled the air. With Rohan's ingenious ideas and Lyra's swift movements, Nyx applied their cosmic talents. Just when it seemed they had succeeded in reigniting the sun, a twist came that none of them expected. A thunderous explosion erupted, and the luminous sphere burst into fragments of light and darkness. No! Rohan cried in disbelief as he shielded his eyes. We've lost the sun. As the pieces scattered into the skies, their future appeared uncertain. But Lyra, Nyx, and Rohan knew this wasn't the end. They held onto hope and their unwavering friendship, ready to face the challenges that awaited them under the starry canopy of the broken cosmos. In the vibrant forest of Whimsy Woods, Lyra the fox and her friends embarked on their most thrilling adventure yet, searching for the mystical quantum lantern. They had heard whispers that it had the power to reveal two different paths, one where Narnia is restored to its majestic glory, and the other where it lies in ash and despair. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the light shimmered, revealing a mysterious maze. We're here, exclaimed Lyra with a twinkle in her eye. Her companions, Pip the hedgehog and Luna the bunny, gathered around. Oh, Lyra, what's that? Asked Pip, pointing at a strange device. It's my AI helper, replied Lyra proudly. It can calculate probability equations to guide us through the maze. With a playful bounce, Luna chimed in, I hope we get to see the restored Narnia. Lyra activated the AI as they stood at the maze's entrance. A holographic map flickered above, showing reality splitting into two distinct paths. This way will lead us to a restored Narnia, said Lyra, pointing at the glowing green line. But over here lies the path where Narnia turns to ash. Pip shivered. I definitely prefer the green path. Brave Lyra led the team through twisting lanes, vines brushing against their fur. With every step, the holographic display altered, changing the likelihood of each timeline as Lyra's AI calculated the best path forward. Almost there, Lyra cheered, seeing the quantum lantern shimmering in the distance. Let's go! With careful precision, Lyra guided them along the maze's intricate trails, every decision crucial as the shimmering lights flickered around them. Which timeline would you choose? Luna wondered aloud, her eyes full of curiosity. Pip pondered thoughtfully. I'd choose the path of restoration and hope, just like we're doing. They finally reached the end of the maze, and the quantum lantern stood majestically before them. Its glow illuminated Narnia in breathtaking majesty, revealing the timeline they all wished for. We did it! Lyra celebrated, as the forest echoed their laughter and joy. With hearts full of adventure and hope, Lyra, Pip, and Luna returned home. They knew that even though reality might split, friendship and wisdom could choose the most magical timeline of all. Once upon a time, in the mystical kingdom of Eldoria, a mysterious figure known as the White Witch returned. This time, she appeared as entropy incarnate, feeding on chaos and spreading fear across the lands. The trees shivered at her presence, and rivers flowed backwards, caught in the ripples of her chaos. Nyx, a brave and selfless guardian of the realm, knew that something had to be done. Nyx was not just any celestial being, they had the power to control light and shadow. In confrontations past, Nyx was always found lighting the darkest paths with bravery. But this challenge was greater than any Nyx had faced before. Accompanying Nyx was Rohan, a wise and cunning scientist with a profound understanding of the laws of relativity. Together, they carried the only hope for their world, a lantern imbued with mystical powers that could bring balance and peace. However, the lantern's light flickered precariously, drawing its power from something not easily obtained, human hope. Seeing the White Witch grow stronger and the kingdom falling into despair, Nyx made the ultimate sacrifice. They would stabilize the lantern by offering their own body to fuse with its core, knowing their essence could steady the unpredictable source. As Nyx began the process, their glow became intertwined with the lantern's light, spreading warmth through the kingdom once more. However, to contain the White Witch's chaos completely, Rohan needed to employ his understanding of relativity. He crafted a plan to freeze the decay caused by the witch using an ingenious application of time. By briefly stopping the decay, Rohan made it seem as though Nyx and the lantern's combined effect created a light powerful enough to restore peace. But here is where fate revealed its twist. As the hope of the village people grew and their united faith in the lantern rose, the light shone brightly, emanating vigor and courage into every heart. The White Witch, unable to sustain herself amid overwhelming hope and positivity, retreated into the shadows from whence she came. Nyx's sacrifice was not in vain. Rohan's clever use of time had given the villagers the chance they needed to remember that hope, even in the smallest forms, could defeat the greatest of darkness. Together, they watched as their world was reborn from chaos, warmed by both the lantern and the everlasting spirit of their dear friend, Nyx. In the bustling city of New Haven, Rohan was known as the town's curious physicist. With brown spectacles perched on his nose and a mind as sharp as the spikes on a porcupine, he could decipher the most complex equations in a jiffy. Always immaculate in his white lab coat, Rohan enjoyed nothing more than exploring the unknown realms of the universe through numbers and symbols. One breezy autumn morning, as Rohan strolled back into his lab from grabbing a coffee, he felt a strange tingling sensation around him. He glanced at his blackboard, where his latest unfinished equation danced playfully, as if mocking him. Right beside the familiar symbols, there was something new, a tiny, glowing lion-shaped constant shimmering like liquid gold. Rohan blinked in disbelief, setting down his coffee. This was no ordinary equation. He stared at the tiny lion, which seemed to twinkle cheerfully, a mystery waiting to be solved. An unexplainable sense of wonder filled the room. Lions don't belong in equations, he muttered, scratching his head. Driven by curiosity, Rohan spent days and nights trying to understand this new variable. Something felt familiar, yet profoundly different, like the scent of rain after a bright summer's day. Diagrams, calculations, and symbols sprawled across his blackboard. His books lay in disarray, but the answer eluded him. The glowing lion constant was both beautiful and perplexing. Rohan found the numbers unveiling hints of a realm beyond what he had ever considered, a universe of magic and mystery. Finally, exhausted but not defeated, Rohan rested his eyes only to find himself in a lucid dream. A voice whispered through the shadows, echoing across galaxies, "Some equations can't be solved, only believed." The glimmering portal of another world opened before him, revealing landscapes of emerald green, mystical creatures, and skies that sang in vibrant hues. Rohan awoke with a start, the words of the dream echoing in his mind. The tiny lion glowed steadily on his blackboard, a reminder that not all mysteries are meant to be solved. Some are meant to lead you to the unknown. With a knowing smile, Rohan realized that belief is sometimes the key to unlocking the fantastic. His equations were no longer just numbers. They were the bridge between the science he adored and the magic he was yet to discover. And with that understanding, New Haven's beloved scientist stepped once more into the world of possibilities, where every equation could lead to a universe of endless wonder.